How
So,
do you do it?
I don't know how I do it, man. I don't know. Folks, hello, and welcome to the return of Talking Crit Live. It,
He's Eric.
I'm Eric, and the individual holding up the show like a pair of boobs is none other than the one and only Glenn.
Hello.
And then Greg, not hello.
Hello. I'm Dickens. He's Fenster. You know,
Michigan, Michigan, Michigan.
just showing my age, man.
Yeah, we're both showing our age. Listen, folks, just so you know, I did not get a haircut. I might look like I did. I might look like I have cleaned up, and I haven't. I haven't. My hair is still long. It's just
I
like
haven't shaved.
yeah,
It looks
there
like I
you go.
shaved. I haven't shaved. It's been 2 days. Hey, we're both wearing black too. How about that?
Yeah, it's all an illusion, folks. It's all an illusion with
I've
this.
got,
Yeah.
I told him I wanted like an orange or light blue shirt for the convention shirt,
Uh-huh.
because I looked in my closet the other day and it's like, where did all these black shirts come from?
Dude,
I've got like six of them, including
black,
this one, which is just basic black. I had the con shirts and a couple of more. It's
yeah,
crazy, crazy.
black, blue. You know,
Yeah,
and when we were younger, your white shirts never stayed white because the
that's
underarm
true.
deodorant used to always turn it like yellow.
Well, yeah, and I'm a sloppy eater. Even on black, I can get it dirty.
Oh
It's
yeah, see, this is a black that will get dirty if I spill food on it.
you look at it wrong, it's dirty. Yeah. I,
You okay, Rachie?
There was something slippery.
Slippery when wet.
Yeah.
oy.
Yeah.
I
I'm not.
So I
I'm not a fashion. I'm not a fashionista, but I do like to wear lighter colors in the spring and summer. Basically,
um,
because I know, you know. Hello, Terry. I,
Terry, welcome.
you know, uh, dark colors absorb light. Light colors reflect light. So
Yeah,
that's why I wear the dark in the winter, and that kind of thing.
I generally wear dark all the time, but
And
that's
you can tell I slept in it too. No, actually, you can tell it because this is when I was like 100 pounds ago. So
oh well.
I've
That's
got a tent. I'm wearing a tent.
all right. So we got these at ShireCon playing in Bob Goodenough's Paranoia game,
Oh, nice.
and they are oversized
Uh
and
huh.
became my sleep shirts. So I actually got two because I was the number one troubleshooter and I was team leader.
Oh, wow.
So I got two
I'm
shirts.
I'm still working on trying to get some gangbusters art up for T-shirts.
That'd be cool.
I gotta break out the pens and start drawing again. So
Well, definitely, Glenn. Definitely. Oh, by the way, folks, I just want to point out two very important things. Uh, GrognardStudios.printify.me is Glenn's Printify shop. He's got a bunch of shirts up there with his artwork.
and I added a few more last night. So
So just saying, if you want to support Glenn, it's a great way. And as for supporting this show, Zach Glazer is currently the one and only patron of the tavern. Patron of the tavern is the top membership level, and basically he's supporting all the live streams.
uh oh,
Oh,
uh
you
oh,
you got
chubby.
you got Greg.
I've
Greg is
got
eager
Greg.
to play in one of your
Okay,
gangbusters games.
okay. I hope I do justice.
And
Uh,
I got to
I,
tell you, Greg, that Glenn runs an amazing. What? Listen, the only thing I've seen from Glenn that was even a touch better than his Gangbusters game was his Ghostbusters game. Oh my effing god! Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. You're
and
in
I
for
fully, no pressure on me, folks. And I will be running that game at the convention. Looks like as an open game. I'm not. It's not on the schedule. I'm just going to fill out the form, get assigned a table, and play.
wow. Okay.
And, so I can pretty see how much my convention's going to pan out.
Your convention's going to be awesome, Glenn.
You're just going to go around and schmooze. I know you.
I'm registered for a few games.
Are you?
Yeah, I actually did. But yeah, I'm gonna be the schmooze man. So, folks, like it's like Greg, you haven't been to North Texas yet, but the unofficial Tenkarian throne are the two chairs right outside the ladies' restroom, right across from it, I should say. And
I thought your throne was porcelain.
no. And the bar is where I'm at in the evening. But during the day, if it's breakfast time or lunchtime,
Yeah, I've been known to hang with him too, him and Ray.
yeah, that's where we the little table in between the chairs. Place for our food and our drink because the food trucks are awesome and they're right outside over there. But it's also a great way to get everybody walking by the hallway and see faces and have your short chat too. So that if you're looking for Tenkar,
He'll be around.
Yeah, I'll be around. I'll be hard to miss.
Yeah. Saturday night I went out with some friends to the Elks Club and got myself plastered. I guess it was rehearsing for the con. I got myself drunk.
Nice.
Well, this was an accidental drunk actually.
Okay.
I came in there and my head was hurting right here. I don't know if it was sinuses or what, but I said, okay, I'm going to drink enough for this to go away because I forgot to take Tylenol or anything. And by the time it went away, I was blotto. I was 3 sheets to the wind.
Self-medication can do that to you.
Yeah, but as I told Becky, my head don't hurt anymore.
Well, at least you had a designated driver.
I did. She had one margarita and that was it.
See, like when I had the local pub, the great thing was I didn't need a local driver. I pretty much needed a local designated walker because it was about 3 blocks from the house. But yeah, I did have to cross.
Any major streets or anything?
Well, you had to cross Grand Avenue, which has 2 bus lines that run on it, and has lights. But yeah, it was usually pretty easy.
Yeah, I get that. See, I spent all these years being the DD, and I said, "You're retired now. It's my turn."
Well, there you go. I mean,
and when I'm the DD, I don't drink at all. I mean, she'll do the DD and have 1 drink at the beginning of the evening. So I don't even do that. I don't want to mess with the blood alcohol level if I ever get stopped.
Yeah. I tell me about it. Chad Matthew Flint, welcome. We got a nice turnout for an afternoon. We know. Yeah. And by the way, I'm gonna apologize. We didn't have a show 2 weeks ago because allergies were laying me on my effing ass. Mm-hmm. And then last week I just had a lot of appointments crammed into the.
And you had WizardCon.
Week. Yeah, and then we had WizardCon, and then the return from WizardCon. So I mean, this week things are relatively back to normal. We're doing this one. I am going to, and for those that have told me, well, how do you do so many live streams? I do the live streams because our viewers love our live streams.
And it's so easy to do.
Well, it is. I mean, the interface is great.
I mean, even the podcast, you turn on the camera, you swing the mic over, and you're talking.
You're talking, and you got it. But the live streams really have a loyal audience. I do appreciate it. So, what we will be doing on this channel, and this is going to be a once a month. And if you are a member of the channel, you can go into the post. There's a poll up. It only has 9 votes. Went up yesterday. I'd like to see at least 15 to 20 before I make a decision. But for the once a month live stream, it's going to be an AMA. and it's going to be 30, 45 minutes or however long it takes, and little back and forth. Oh, my cat wants to get into one of the closets in the kitchen. It's going to be it'll be a back and forth of questions from the membership, but anybody can view it, and it'll be up for the public. But I just want to,
I can do an AMA too.
yeah, well, I want to be much more responsive to this community, and I think that's a good way to do it. So we're working on things. We're working on things.
I think we have some new people in here, don't we?
Well, Flint, Matthew, Chad, I welcome.
Yeah. Chad dicks out for Harambe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just mouthing off.
Glenn never mouths off. He's always good.
I'm always good.
He's always good. So actually, Glenn, come to think of it, North Texas is a month away.
It yeah. What, 3.5, 4 weeks? Yeah.
Well, actually,
And I'm still sweating over the Gangbusters books.
That's the whole thing, right? Well, North Texas, it starts on the 4th, so it's literally a month away. Not even, it's just over 4 weeks. And
oh wow.
yeah.
By the what was I going to say? I forgot. That, how you have like two different things you want to say and they just sort of clash in your head and you can't remember any of them.
That happens frequently with me.
Oh yeah. Dicks out for Brombe. Hey. And my Printify store, I added. You saw that drawing of the castle I did?
Yes.
I put that on a bed blanket, a white bed blanket. It looks
that's cool.
great. It's on the website. I didn't order that one yet. I just putting it up there. So anybody wants to do that. It's black and white, but black and white, but it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to be bringing I'm going to bring the t-shirts to the con, but I'm also bringing a mouse pad, a coffee cup, and a journal for me, sketch journal that all have my stuff on it.
Glenn will be selling out of his trunk. It's going to be like the old days, folks. And here.
That's about all I could afford as far as selling.
Imagine this, okay, folks. It's the early '80s. There you are. You're 16, 17, and you're playing stoop ball in the street, and this car pulls up, and it's like, hey kid, you want to buy a VCR? And you're like, VCR? Yeah, VCR. You know those newfangled devices, those VCRs? You could buy it, right? I got them in my trunk. And you look, and there's like 3 or 4 boxes. And you could pick them up, and I got weight. But if you opened them up, and not that I did, because I didn't have the money on me, but I knew a neighbor that did. When you opened it up, it was blocks of wood inside. It didn't fall off a truck. It fell out of a lumberyard.
Well, it certainly did.
Greg. But
yeah. Wait till you see this. I'm gonna try and save this.
Glenn's going to expose something, folks. Be very,
and it's G-rated too. Wow.
Oh, G-Money, G-rated. Okay.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna do that fancy share screen thing again. I'm gonna try it. See if it works. Here we go. Share screen. No, it's not there, but I can fix that. I figured out what I should do. Okay. Open a window. Open it in a window. Let's see what happens. This might work.
It might work. It might not work. I'm not seeing nothing on my...
I know I'm pushing the wrong buttons here. It worked. Okay. There it is.
All right. Add to the scene. There we go.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that is very nice.
Oh yeah,
That actually really does lay out pretty well.
yeah. I was going to do a baseball cap, but they have baseball cap with like patches on the front,
Uh-huh.
and they're all embroidered. And I put the artwork in and it says, we can't do this because it's not up to our embroidery standards. It's like, all right, forget it. I just took it off the site. Maybe down the road, I can get a baseball cap up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a beauty, all right.
So, folks, that's at grognardstudios.printify.me. Not
Okay.
that I'm pimping Glenn. Not that I'm having putting Glenn on a for sale sign, but I'm just saying. And listen. My suggestion: if you're driving to North Texas, make Glenn an offer you can't refuse. Like, hey, Glenn, I, I, I really want to buy those shirts.
There is no shade of green I will not accept.
There you go, folks.
Or
Just
PayPal or something like that.
just throwing it out there. I mean, I do. Hey,
Hey, Dave.
there's somebody from the other side of the pond.
Oh yeah.
Like, technically, hold on a second. I'm trying to like that cup behind my on is from an online shop. I'm using the artwork I purchased from James Shields. It looks great. I did learn though with that cup there is it. I've had other cups done where they actually like paint the cup. This cup is a wrap. Looks beautiful. Don't put it in the dishwasher. Okay? Because the wrap will contract even. It won't look as fine later. Just saying. I'm just saying. Not spraying. But I used that same design for one of those drawstring knapsacks. If you've gone to North Texas, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
However, the quality is magnitudes better than. This is not a slight on Mike. I've told Mike this, but the quality for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years of the backpacks suck shit. They don't, the strings, you put anything in it, but the old ones could take some weight. I've
In a
bought
box in the garage, I have about a half a dozen of those.
the old ones, the definitely the ones prior to COVID,
Yeah.
are awesome. And there's an ongoing joke because it seems like every year I'm at North Texas, I buy more bags. And when I say I buy more bags, they usually put an assortment of the bags, and they all include dice bags, and
Uh-huh.
they put them up from prior years on the silent auction. And I'm always like, I don't need it, but I could just get more. So I'm sure Rach loves the fact that we have all these
I'm
bags.
hoping this year Gage will buy his own dice.
Wait. Gage doesn't travel with his own dice?
Oh, he has dice, but he's got this thing where he has to buy a set of dice at every North Texas he goes to. And they have to be metal dice.
All right. Let me just clear the air here. I like metal dice. They are fine on certain circumstances. If you are
really don't like your
flying, they are
tables,
not
do
the
you?
ideal dice to fly with. Just saying.
Yeah, I say you really don't like your tables, do you? Well, I use a dice tray. Oh, whatever. When I went to Comic-Con with Jason, I did not buy him a set of dice. But what I did buy was I found one of those great big D20s.
Okay.
And it was metal. And it's like, I didn't get you a set, but here, go play with that.
Go kill. I'm not saying kill somebody with
Yeah,
it.
go. Somebody gives you at the table, just toss it.
Yeah, it's like a baseball through a window, but instead it's a dice to the face. It's natural.
Dice to the face. It's not like boot to the head.
All right, roll your damage.
All right. Well,
funny.
once again, I see your videos and your live streams, except for Gamer's Health. I pop up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what you were talking about industry-wise.
About
what's going on?
Well, actually, here this just popped up over the weekend.
Yeah.
And industry wise, it is I don't know, the potential. The potential is Nick Sobueno, maybe I say. Um, do you recall the one of the oldest Kickstarters of all, City State of the Invincible Overlord by Jeff?
Oh, that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, so now,
I keep
uh,
thinking Janelle's rolling in her grave right now.
well, I don't think she had much to do with that one, but
Well, she kind of put a little bit of her reputation on the line by, doing a link-in offer if you back
yeah,
this,
yeah. So now Goodman Games apparently, and Goodman is definitely going to be publishing as part of its original Adventures Reincarnated. City State and the Invincible Overlord. They're gonna publish a version for 5e / the original reprinted, and then they're gonna do a DCC version. That's all fine and dandy, but
Well, I'll keep my original because I don't hear any OSR going in there, and I'm not going to do DCC.
no. So, but here's where the kicker comes. A member of the Bledsoe family. I don't know if it's a grandson of Bob. I believe the name is Aaron Bledsoe. Has repeatedly stated, well, family members have stated at least twice that I've seen, that this was not an IP that was bought by Goodman Games. Like Goodman Games didn't come in and say, hey, I'm going to save this IP from the clutches of Judges Guild and their reputation. This
So,
is licensed.
okay.
So it's still owned by Judges Guild.
But we don't have to worry about like Bob the Third opening his big mouth.
Oh, I am quite sure it's going to happen.
I mean, when that happened, it's like his dad probably smacked him upside the head.
Well, Bob II and Bob II is the current, I believe, owner or of
Uh-huh.
Judges Guild. Bob III is Bob II's son,
Right.
and Bob III, and somebody will correct me if I am wrong. I'm going from memory here. It's been a while. I believe was and I had explained this to Rach. I believe that he was a Catholic priest, but not a Roman Catholic priest. In other words, there are Catholic churches that are not affiliated with Rome, that are not under the Pope.
Oh yeah, I was probably a Jesuit or something, or
Not even that. No, they're
Greek Orthodox.
no. There are independent
That's an
churches.
offshoot.
No, these are very small, non.
I was raised Catholic, and I'm just hearing about this.
Yeah, no, there's and a lot, and the weirdness about it, they all these breakaway Catholic churches, for the vast majority,
The Christian churches do the same thing. The Protestants do
Yeah.
the same. It's not new.
well, the thing is, these all seem to draw their legitimacy from a Brazilian bishop. I believe it was a bishop back in, I think, the 1950s. I used to do a little research on this. I found it very interesting. So some of these breakaway churches only have, I don't know.
You and
3 or
Becky
4
should talk. She's really into the lore and the history,
Yeah, no, it was very interesting.
Christianity and all that.
So some of these breakaway churches allow their priests to get married.
Right.
Some of them, it's every denomination Bob III was part of was apparently very, had interesting views on certain other
Exactly.
religions.
So that's why they're stressing this is a license.
Well, yeah, but I think that the thing is, the license means you're paying somebody, right?
Right.
And right now, nearly 1,000 backers of the original Kickstarter are being told to take care of yourself, because now, and I mentioned this on my video, if there was an agreement in this whatever licensing that the monies would be used to make the backers whole,
Mm-hmm.
in whole or part, it's like, well, yeah, you're back for 60. Here's a check for 30.
Yeah.
You know, at least you'd have something.
Yeah.
But you don't have that as of yet. We haven't even had and Agile Monk, welcome, Hector. Good to see you.
Agile.
But here's my my thought, and I have no peek behind the throne. All right, minor peek behind the curtain of what's going on, but I believe that this was announced at the Dungeon Con, whatever they were calling the convention for the warehouse for Goodman Games over the weekend, and he put the two big poster boards up. But there's no official announcement on the Goodman Games website or their social media. And my theory, folks, it's only a theory, is that Joe is doing this like this to gauge the response from the community as to, is it, how toxic is it to license an IP that has screwed nearly 1,000 backers out of $80,000.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they stress the light on two things, because one, it kind of puts some distance between them and the Bledsaws,
Right.
and also this is like a separate entity from the Kickstarter. As far as I'm concerned, the Kickstarter is a lost cause.
Right.
Nobody's going to get anything.
If there's money going towards it,
Uh-huh.
where there is here, going towards the company at the very least,
Uh-huh.
there should be some accommodation for the backers. It annoys me on a personal level to see a new Kickstarter being done with IP that is outstanding. And then when I say outstanding, not like, wow, that's outstanding, as in, hey.
I think they're also trying to distance themselves from that Kickstarter.
Well, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, but how many times have I heard of a Kickstarter that that doesn't go through, or it goes through and something happens and people get screwed? I mean, you're living proof of that.
This is the oldest one right now. And here's the thing: it's not even like Judges Guild has said, "Hey, you know what? We screwed the pooch. We fucked this up. It's dead." No, they just haven't updated in like 4 years. And it's like, we'll just go radio silence and hide. So, but here, hold on, I want to. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Now I'm turning myself into. I need to bring this up because this. So, now hold on a second.
You get elevator music with it. Wow. Okay. Huh. So they're still maintaining contact with them. That's interesting. Very interesting. I don't think they're trying to. Well, Goodman wants to do. If I was Goodman, I wouldn't feel liable for that Kickstarter because it's Goodman Games and not Judges Guild. I mean, yes, they're doing their thing with it, but anyway, Eric will be right back. So yeah, that's a very, very interesting thing we got going here. I never heard of Goodman, screwing people out of stuff. So we'll see what happens. Okay.
Sorry, Glenn. Sorry, folks.
That's okay. I've just been yakking away about it.
All right.
I was telling him, if I was Goodman Games, I would not feel responsible for the
Listen, I'm not.
earlier Kickstarter.
No, and I'm not saying that they are legally responsible. It didn't hurt any legal responsibilities. But and I think part of the issue here too is that the Bledsoes, here's Aaron going, no, Goodman Games did not buy the rights. Goodman Games has maintained their contract with Judges Guild and will be releasing this under contract, which
Right.
is interesting.
Right. Yeah.
But no, listen, my personal belief, all right,
Yeah.
and this is I'm not speaking for anybody but myself, is that what's going on is that there's just a bad optics to this. And whether Goodman game again, there's no legal requirements for Goodman to do anything.
No, nothing at all.
And if there are legal expectations, it would fall on Judges Guild to fulfill their original responsibilities.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if they're making money from this Kickstarter, maybe that's the direction that this money should go. And like I said, Judges Guild could use those monies to make people whole or partially whole.
Well, yeah, they're getting the money off the license. What they do with it, you hope they'll do the right thing. But
right.
I was also not. For some reason, I wasn't aware this was the Goodman one is a Kickstarter. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, it's likely going to be a Kickstarter. We don't know if it's been announced.
I mean, they're big enough where they could just put it out.
That they certainly could. And Goodman Games released if this is going to be a release for 2025. Again, we only know about it because there were pictures shared on social media. I think it was initially on Facebook, and somebody showed it on Emerald.
For if I was Goodman, I would just put it out, because having that as a Kickstarter would kind of be real awkward.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. I think for Goodman to
people will be commenting.
Yeah, well, there's been a number of comments on social media with people that are uncomfortable with the IP.
I mean, that city, the Judge Guild City State was such a big bomb. I don't even know if the Goodman put it out on Kickstarter to fulfill.
Oh, I think it would fulfill. I think it would, and it would fulfill because.
Well, I mean, meet their goal. Not fulfill.
It would meet their goal, unless they had some insane goal. But it would meet the goal because Goodman has done a great job forming a community of DCC players.
They have.
And one of the versions of this is going to be for DCC. So you can damn well be sure it will have DCC backers. And again, there are people who are like, whatever. It's City State the Invincible Overlord. I've heard so much about this. I want my copy.
Right.
Here, John D goes, I'll be getting it. So,
more power to you, man.
I mean, if I read the room in my the comments on my video for it, I would say that far more people are interested in this than are opposed to it. It's not. Listen, it's not.
So they're doing a 5e and a DCC adaptation of it. They're not going to do it like the other modules for that, like Dark Tower, where they had the original one in there, and then they had the
original will be the 5e will be 5e and original, and then there'll be a separate one that is the DCC RPG.
Okay, version. So the 5e will be 5e / say, I don't know, 1e. I'm talking OSR here. Well,
it's going to be a reprint of the original.
Exactly. That's what I was looking
for. Which I believe was written for original D&D.
Yeah, something like that. I'll have to pull out. I have to pull out my copy and look. I mean, I hope it works out for them. I really do. But I would, even if they had like OSC version or something like that. Even if they had something I want to use with my rule system, I still probably wouldn't get it because I got the original.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's honestly, then that turns into another question, right? I mean, is the audience like the people that backed the original Kickstarter?
Mm-hmm.
I believe were those that were looking for a cleaned up version of the original, and it was going to be for. I actually forget what systems it was going to be for. Holy crap!
Hang on, I'm going to go grab it. It's right behind, right back here. It should be anyway.
Yeah, it was going to be for the original one was going to be for Pathfinder, and oh my god! I mean, honestly, yeah, it was. The history of the original is a mess.
It is a mess.
And again, running it for Pathfinder is a Pathfinder 1E, which is a system that's out of print and has been out of print now for a good portion of the time we've been waiting for this to fulfill.
I'm listening. I'm a listener.
No, I'm just trying to.
I'm just being fanatical right now.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, it was going to be for Judges Guild Universal. Now, as a side note, folks, Judges Guild Universal is a non-published system, right? It's supposed to be D&D with the serial numbers filed off.
Exactly.
It is pointless, and the Pathfinder role-playing system. So it was for a system that didn't really exist, and for a system that is no longer in print. So this is $85,000, 965 backers. Last update was May 11th, 2020. So nearly 5 years ago. Nearly 5 years ago. So good going, Judges Guild, if you ever wanted to, keep your, I don't know, community satiated. Ron Talk Shop. I want to have a copy on my shelf. Yeah, and that's the whole thing too, right? I mean, a lot of the Judges Guild stuff is the good stuff is priced far too high for the quality of the product, and I think that the shitty stuff is priced way too high.
There. I got too damn much Judges Guild.
Too damn much Judges Guild.
To find anything.
Ron talks tabletop. At the same time, I'd like to see what Goodman Games handle the old Kickstarter backlash.
We were just talking about
that. You know, and somebody's pointed out. I had mentioned the idea that they could even just try to make the original backers whole via PDF, but apparently there aren't PDFs of the what do you call it? Their original adventures reincarnated.
Right.
Apparently they don't do PDFs of those, so I don't know. Flint, do you think Goodman Games will at least offer a discount to backers?
That'd be nice.
I don't know. I mean, I will say this: like when Troll Lords picked up the Memorial Tomb, they had the advantages of what? The work was largely done. It wasn't necessarily laid out. It needed to be edited. It needed to be tweaked. But the yeoman's work was done. And most importantly, and this is number 2, which I can tell you right now is not existing on the Judge Guild Kickstarter. But the monies were still largely there. I know that they were there in 2016 at my first GaryCon because Ernie showed me the receipts, showed me the current bank statement,
Nice.
And I don't believe that Ernie used that money for anything other than it was. Whatever faults you want to
Okay.
have for Ernie Gygax, Ernie was an honest businessman. Not saying he was a competent one, but he was an honest one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
My copy is the 1978 reprint. It's a revised edition.
Okay.
And it says nothing of what system this is for. It doesn't even have their universal system in it.
Okay.
So they may have put it on in earlier editions than taken off. Well,
I think the universal system came.
I could have
later.
swore the earlier editions of this said for basic D&D.
Okay.
I think. I know the Ready Ref sheets say that.
Right. Well, initially they had a license, then they didn't have a license. And I think,
I think this was after the license.
I would hazard a guess that the reason why they didn't maintain their license is because TSR didn't enjoy another company profiting off their work and was like, oh, wait a second.
Well, you know how they fix that? They just make the license so expensive they won't take it.
Agile Monk, in respect to Troll Lord Games, they had a bit of work to do on that, but it's other than you say. But I get your point, Derek. Listen, the scope of the Memorial Tomb was much further than any project that suffered from endless stretch goals, and that was an issue of that time on Kickstarter. But Troll Lord did a project that I had spoken with other publishers about over the years, or they spoke with me about, and they gave me estimates on how much they thought it would take to save the Memorial Tomb. And it was money losing. Now, I don't believe that Troll Lord made a huge profit off the Memorial Tomb, but they made a huge profit in publicity and goodwill amongst the community.
Which was
so. I would just say when it comes to Goodman Games, if they could find some way to acknowledge the backers of the original Kickstarter, it would go a huge way to earning goodwill of the community.
And Lord knows they need it.
Yeah. Beyond those that are already in that Goodman Games circle.
Yeah.
But Goodman Games does a great job in cultivating a circle of fans, consumers, supporters of material. Goodman has wisely insulated the company from the I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, the way the weather blows, the wind blows with WotC. He was way too tied to WotC during the 3rd edition era. 4th edition, he initially tied himself to WotC, signed the contracts they could do the Level Up magazine, which I have 2 issues of it. I whatever. And then he decided, you know what, we gotta create our own rule system. So we are insulated. And that's the reason why Goodman Games is successful and why Kelsey is being as successful as she is with Shadow Dark. It's the reason why other publishers are looking to repeat what Goodman did. It was a huge success.
Hi, Zedrin. We're talking about the Judges Guild Goodman Games slight problem. You might say.
I don't even know if problem is it's a little awkward. Okay, yeah. It's a little awkward, and for some people, it's not awkward at all. Some people,
hi G.
Hey, Greg, welcome. For some people, it's not an awkward situation. They're just like, oh yeah, whatever. They're licensing the IP and they do with it as they will. And that's,
hey, do you know if Goodman's going to be in North Texas? I mean, not the company. I mean, Mr. Goodman.
When was the last time Goodman was at North Texas? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but if he shows up, we're probably going to bombard him with questions about it.
Well, and although that be rightfully so, I don't. Usually, Goodman Games stuff at North Texas is covered by the guys at Black Blade. Mm-hmm. And I mean, listen, like I'm I'm gonna reach right over, and I'm going to. Here's listen. We all have. I don't know.
Okay, it's okay, Monk. I know people from TLG too, and I like them.
Yeah.
So
So like, listen. I have. This is the
I
most.
got one of those.
The soft cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got this for
I
10.
just got the standard one,
Yeah.
like you have.
Well, this is the latest. I got this at TotalCon in 2024, I believe, and it's the latest print of the game. It was $10 at the con. I mean, you can't.
How much?
$10 for the soft cover. I
Not
know it's got a price of 30. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, now do I play a campaign of DCC? No, but I'm very happy to jump into a DCC, MCC, Weird Frontiers game at a convention because it's a great convention game and
Yes, it can be.
it's a lot of fun.
Because there's in the role playing game world, there's always that one section of role playing games that you only play at conventions or one shots. Stuff like Paranoia or
Right.
Tune or something like that. You don't really want to play a campaign, but once in a while,
As a one-off, as a
yeah,
distraction.
take it to the convention, run it there, that kind of thing.
Yep. Agile Monk. In fairness, I'm very close to folks at Troll Lord Games, so my natural reaction is come to their defense. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Troll Lord did yeoman's work. They did the community a huge service. They did Ernie and Benoit a huge service. And again, I had been told by other publishers that how much it would, the estimate of how much it would cost to bring that to the table without putting man hours into it. So the fact that was here, why was that Kickstarter salvageable? It was salvageable because Ernie didn't burn the money on hookers and blow or whatever, on hospital bills, and he certainly legitimately could have. Okay, he could have done what Far West also needed a savior. All these Kickstarters from that era that are long in the tooth generally need somebody to come in and save them. And as much as I would like to say that, hey, this is savable, it's written for a system that at this point nobody gives a shit about. The Judges Guild, whatever system. It's for.
I know of nobody who ever used that system, so I wouldn't really worry about that.
Yep. And for Pathfinder, which again nobody is publishing for Pathfinder 1E at this point, so it's essentially dead in the water. And for somebody to come in, and we do know from the updates that were being published, when there were updates, Judges Guild was hoping for somebody to come in and basically take over the project.
You know what the universal system would be handy for? Because they publish it in a lot of their modules and supplements. Because this is what we're going to follow. Okay, fine. What it's good for is, say you go to a convention or a game store someplace, and all you have is that. You don't have your regular D&D rule book. You could look in the back there and go, okay, I guess I can use this for tonight.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
it translates. I mean, anybody with a modicum of sense about D&D can figure out what's what in that system.
Right, but just a needless step. And
I know, but I'm saying this is kind of like, break glass, emergency break glass type of thing.
So I mean, honestly, I don't, and this is, my view on my perspective on it. I don't think that the original project is salvageable. I don't think it'd be profitable to salvage it. I think
refunding.
refunding monies, and that's not on Goodman Games.
No, it's on
That
JG.
that would be on Judges Guild. It's just still.
Yeah,
It's
I know it's
one of
off.
those weird. It just the whole situation feels a bit off to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe they should have just like kickstarted a new revision of Rob's Majestic Wilderlands.
Well, here's the thing. I believe Rob is working on something like that, and
Is he? I still get his hardback. I love his hardback. It's beautiful.
So.
Oh,
But,
by the way,
yeah.
I messaged Mark Hunt this last week, and he said he's working right now. That should have it soon, but he's working on he wants to do the main Gangbusters book and whatever is supposed to come with it. But he also said, I'm very, very close to finishing the Gangbusters 1980s supplement.
What is that?
Where you can
Vice?
play like Starsky and Hutch, or all those cop shows back then. He says just swap out like gangsters for drug lords. It's all BX anyway. It's going to be, I forget what he called it, something BX. But he's very close to doing that, and we may see that this year sometime or by next con. I don't know.
Very interesting.
That's the word I got on the street. And matter of fact, let me look that up real quick.
The word on the street, according to Glenn.
Mark Hunt. Okay. He says, I should have the draft ready in a day or so. Been at this one a while. And it's called, what is it? Where is it? Oh, Gangbusters Neon Vice. The rules changed. The streets didn't. I mean, he did a whole welcome to the 1980s, where trench coats are traded for pastel suits and the bootleggers for drug lords. Gangbusters Neon Vice updates the classic BX rule set and street crime gameplay into a new decade of greed, glam, and unchecked corruption. The expansion shifts the setting to a world of Reagan-era politics, cocaine empires, neon-lit nightclubs, high-speed pursuits, and blood-soaked back alleys. Organized crime has adapted. Cops are dirtier than ever, and power is bought in back rooms and brokered through VHS blackmail. This is not a reboot. It's a revolution. Same crime, new sins. What do you think of that?
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you too can play the A-Team or Starsky and Hutch or, Beretta.
Well, but actually, but now Starsky and Hutch and Beretta were all 70s.
Uh-huh.
They were a little bit. 80s was Miami Vice.
Oh, Miami Vice. Yeah. Those kind of shows.
Because that's where they started dealing with real drug dealers.
You could probably even do like Magnum PI.
Yeah.
You belong in the city. You belong in the OSR. I love it. Thank you, Dick. I've been Chad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I really don't have any fondness for those shows, but that sounds like a fun campaign world to play in.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3, role-playing games based on stuff I really didn't care about, but then I play it and I go, this is fun.
No, that would be an interesting time. I mean, I know Ty Beard has bounced the idea of the two of us doing like an OSR cops, but based more on like the movies, like the 7-Ups and
French Connection,
French Connection, and have something, because honestly, having done the day-to-day job of a cop, most the actual theme of most policing is hurry up and wait. So you have to be able to pull out those moments that are literally, I guess, gameable.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if it's like a BX thing, I will write up a cowboy and we can do Coogan's Bluff or McLeod. And here's one that goes back to the 70s too, is like, what if I write up Columbo?
That would be interesting.
Columbo with some action. And you can still do car chases just like in regular gangbusters.
One more thing.
One more thing. I got one more thing for you.
It just occurred to me. It's nothing important.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I just need to know, you know. I won't bother you. One more thing, I won't bother you anymore.
Really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. That would be fun, actually. Although I'd probably be heavy on the role playing, but that's okay. I could be down with that.
Yeah, well, you do the role playing well.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, role playing is always fun. You just got to have a balance. That's all. With action, because I don't know. I was burned on. There was one session of Champions I played a long time ago when I was with my girlfriend Sylvia, who also played, and it was my regular group, and we were playing, and the entire session was a conversation between her and like the police chief or Shield or whoever it is, and the rest of us sitting around going, "You guys done?" You know, and it's like ever since then I said, I'm not going to let that happen again. Not in my games.
Never.
You know, that's why I always say balance and benchmarks. That's my thing. B&B, Airbnb, no B&B.
Airbnb.
Balance and benchmarks. Benchmarks are very important.
Fair enough.
Oh, David has Crime Fighter by Task Force. Oh, it's an RPG? Okay. I thought it was a tactical thing.
Sounds like more tactical, but yes.
Yeah, it'll work. You know, and those other like pulp stuff, you can always expand it into those, 80s, 70s, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Alan Hammock doing Boot Hill. I've heard only great things about.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Alan does some great Boot Hill.
Well, I don't even know if he was running it when me and Steve played it that one year. When Steve Perrin was still alive, we used to buddy around at North Texas because he was still out there with the hero people, and he knew me. And
okay,
he got me into a Boot Hill game. It's like, oh, never tried it. Let's do it. Oh God, it was so slow. Once the bad guys got into their hideout and the posse surrounded them, trying to pick them off, and it's like, can we not hit anything? Because I don't know why Bloom wrote it like this, but every gunfight is a zero-sum game. Is a zero-sum proposition. Either you hit or you don't. And you just have to like roll saves and stuff, and nobody could do it. And it's like, God almighty, this thing needs a rewrite.
Well, yeah, it's sign of the times.
Yeah, well, I'll just use Mark's Tall Tales.
There you go.
That works. So I can do my spaghetti western.
Well, I think we're hitting our witching hour for the afternoon. Wow.
Oh darn.
Oh darn, folks.
We give you a full hour too, folks, without commercials.
Commercial free.
Unless you count Grognard Studio.
Grognard Studios on Printify.me.
Yay. There's my biggest cheerleader right there.
So that is Glen's online shop.
Yes,
right now with multiple shirts. There's a bed throw. Good stuff. Prices are fair. Trust me. I know because I've seen how these prices go.
Oh yeah. God. I was my last Radio Grognard. The kind of related. I don't know if this is related or not. But last Radio Grognard, I thank Gilbert for giving me money And I said, I said, I've quit this show something like I quit this show 5 times, but every time something happens, they bring me back and do some more.
Right.
And I did kind of warn them. I says maybe later this year or something, I will give this show up and go back into YouTube. But I don't know. We'll see how it pans
You could do both. You could.
I know I could do both, but I'm lazy.
I'm just saying.
I know. I could do both. I'm doing the live streams. Thaco's Hammer if I ever get it edited. And I know. I could do more than I mean, I'm friggin' retired. I should be able to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Believe me, I know. Although I've been asked how I do so many freaking live streams.
I heard about that.
It's like you should be retired.
Look,
again, we do these.
You do keep yourself busy between that and you and Raish and other things. So Godspeed.
Yeah,
I'm glad you can do it.
Live streams.
We should really change the show's name to something like D&D in retirement.
We'll work on it, Glenn. We'll work on it.
Yeah, something like that. It'd be nice if we could do a video where it's like a background of a porch and we're both in rockers. Like we're in the home or something. Maybe today they did something stupid over at Watsy again, not like my day.
Back in my day when TSO was just publishing shit. I mean, we loved it. It was shit,
but we loved it. And we were thankful.
Gosh darn it. You should be thankful too.
I mean, we took pebbles and made dice.
Oh, Jesus. Back in the day, all we had were 2-sided dice.
That's
and your
right.
fancy 30-sided.
It was called a coin.
Yeah. You'll like it.
Heads you hit, tails you don't. And we were thankful.
Yes.
Yes.
God help us.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Dungeons, Dragons, and Depends.
I love it.
Sorry, we're not astronauts. We're not trying to drive cross country. I'll pass.
By the way, Triple D, I'm surprised people don't get us confused with that Irish gal who does Dungeons and Discourse, because she has a similar name to this.
Well, I think Greg's old channel, Greg's old blog used to be Dungeons and Discourse, right? So,
yeah. But anyway, that I can't remember her name. She's Irish. Watch her on YouTube. She's got a great series. I love watching her, dismantle Watsy and things like that.
Yeah, she's entertaining.
She is. Her and Mr. Welsh.
There you go.
There you go.
Folks, anyway, my stream will be Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And then we'll just keep on repeating them. And
I'll be back with him next week.
Yes.
Sometime during the day and Friday.
And Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. As usual, be safe, be well. God bless.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for coming.
We're old and well. We'll catch you all
Video
later.
Grognard, yeah. And anything that he's involved in.
What? Me? What?